Greetings everyone, here I am again, and in this demo, I'll demonstrate how to initialize a project using the Recrogrid framework. In this demo, I'll be using the Northwind database. I'll create a new ASP.NET Core Web API application. The project name will be RGF API. And the solution name will be RGF Demo. Next, I'll be using .NET 8 framework. Create. First, I'll add the Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL Server package. To create the data model, I'll be using a very useful extension called EF Core Power Tools, which I've already installed earlier. Right-click on the project, and here we have EF Core Power Tools and the Reverse Engineer. I'll set up the database connection. Selecting all tables. I will be using table and column names directly from the database. Then I'll turn off the map date-only and time-only as they're currently not supported. And that's it. Now I have a code first model for the Northwind database. And now I'll add the Recrogrid Framework Core package. This will provide a brief description of the necessary settings. After installation, a build is needed to generate new files into the project. Now let's configure the necessary RGF services for operation. With this block, I'll enable cross-origin requests, allowing the client to access the API. With this, I add the RGF services and register the DB context. Then, I'll enable static file serving for the current request path. I add an endpoint routing middleware to Application Builder. I add the core's middleware to allow cross-domain requests. I add the authorization middleware, which enables authorization capabilities. And finally, I add the RGF middleware and define the default DB context. Now I will set up the database connection in the configuration file and prepare the core's setting. Before launching the application, following the suggestion, I will configure the default DB context. I can only do this once I have my own DB context. So, I set up the base context to derive from the Northwind DB context I created. And I create a parameterless constructor. And now I can start the application and navigate to the RGFadmin page. Next, I'll manually initialize the RGF database through the interface, but this step can also be automated with a configuration setting. Here, all I need to do is click the database initialization button. And with that, our API application is ready for use. This application offers a wealth of functionalities beyond API endpoints, including an admin dashboard, and is also capable of providing a visual representation of the entire database. But showcasing these should be part of another demo. The next step is to create a client application that will utilize this API. To continue, click on the video. Thank you for your attention.